In the African bush, a rhino is about to be shot. But this isn't a poacher. He's a vet trying to save the animal's life. This rhino had been attacked for her horn, which can sell for $250,000 on the black market in Asia, where it's falsely believed to have healing properties. It's incredible being this close to a rhino. But what's really amazing is that she's still alive. Poachers took off her horn and part of her face with a chainsaw. Eusebio has poached 5 rhino horns, earning him $10,000.
You have to shoot the animal and kill it. Once you're sure it's dead, you cut the horn off and move on.
It's an interesting development, isn't it? I'm keen to find out from you who exactly is affected and how many.
Well, 1 million Bangladeshis, Filipinos, Indians, Pakistanis, Sri Lankans, Yemenis, they all went home in the last 3 months alone. I mean, the border, for example, of Yemen, they've been overwhelmed with busloads of 6,000 Yemenis in the last 2 days. And I also heard of 3,000 Indonesian workers. They actually packed up their bags and spent the night under a flyover in Jeddah, giving themselves over to the authorities so they wouldn't get picked up in raids. Doha may look uber-modern with glittering skyscrapers and innovative architecture, but outside the heart of the city live the army of poor foreign labourers who built it. They stay in row upon row of cheap housing that stretch for miles. No wonder they've been dubbed the labour camps.
No one can understand our feelings. We just a labor. All people hate us.
This block of flats looked good from the outside. In fact, it's meant to be one of the better places. But inside, it's 8 men to a room. This kitchen is shared by 20 people. And as you can see, it's both filthy and basic. The bathrooms are even worse.
Why is King Abdullah doing this? Is this something to do with the Arab Spring? Is he trying to be a modernist?
I think he is trying to be a bit more responsive since the Arab Spring, and he had talks, he consulted religious scholars, and they allowed the participation of women in the Shura Council according to Sharia law. So they've actually modified the council chambers themselves, so there's separate doors and separate areas, so there can be segregation. Here in the town centre of Soma, the deaths of 301 miners still roar. And these workers here are demonstrating for better and safer working conditions. People just did not listen to the curfew and were still out on the streets. The police were pushed back and actually just had to let them. They were completely overrun. Then the army came onto the streets in armoured personnel carriers to try and keep some form of peace. What the protesters and people have been asking for is for Mubarak to step down. So for him to just sack the government, I really don't think that's going to be enough. People on the streets have been very passionate and continuing all through the night, and we're expecting more to come out in the morning.
How would you assess the events of Friday? I mean, some people are saying that this is perhaps the most momentous day in recent Egypt history.
Yes, I think that's very true. That it's completely unprecedented. This has not been led by any party. This has been a real popular uprising. The strikes are happening against a backdrop of 3 years of political upheaval, which has battered the economy. But the revolution was largely about improving the lot of the poor. Bread, freedom, social justice, not something many are willing to let go of after all the uprising has cost in terms of blood.
Speaks to the BBC's Leana Hosea, who joins us now from Tunis, and I think you were caught up in those demonstrations as well. Just give us an update on what happened.
Well, it started off in the morning, straight after Friday prayer. Hundreds of people were marching towards the embassy, shouting, God is great. They felt very insulted by the film. They wanted a proper apology from the United States. We got to the embassy, clashes quickly broke out. I'm at the Arizona 1 uranium mine, and this is the uranium ore, which has been dug up from 400 meters underground. I'm about to go all the way down.